What's up, Pokemon Monsters? It's me one more time, Bry Gamer. This time I have a top 10 of the best water type Pokemons in Pokemon Go right now. So let's get to it. The 10th Pokemon I have on the list is Shadow Empoleon. Shadow Empoleon is a water and also steel type Pokemon. It means it's vulnerable to electric type Pokemons, fighting type Pokemons, and finally ground type Pokemons. This Pokemon is resistant to ice type, poison, steel, bug, dragon, fairy, flying, normal, psychic, rock, and finally water type Pokemons. This Pokemon has a max CP of 3279, a attack of 210, a defense of 186, and finally stamina of 197. Okay, in general, this Pokemon has pretty good stats. The attack is the highest one that it has, and the defense and the stamina, they're just okay. They're good enough to make this Pokemon last long while fighting against someone in PvP or also raids. As we're gonna be using a Shadow, it's gonna be dealing more damage, and the defenses and the stamina, of course, are gonna decrease a little, but that's not really that important. Okay, so this Pokemon is gonna be boosted when it has the rain weather and also the snow weather. And now let's check the attacks. So as fast attacks, it has Metal Claw and also Waterfall. And as charge moves, it has Flash Cannon, Drill Peck, Blizzard, Hydro Pump, Hydro Cannon. This one is a legacy move. And finally Frustration. The best moveset for this Pokemon as a water type Pokemon would be Metal Claw and also Hydro Cannon. Guys, if you don't have Hydro Cannon, you can also use it with Hydro Pump, but that's mostly in the raids because Hydro Pump in PvP is gonna take a lot of time to be charged, and we don't really want that. So we get this Pokemon by evolving Piplup into Primplup by using 25 candies and evolving then Primplup into Empoleon by using 800 candies. And now let's go to the next Pokemon. The ninth Pokemon we have on the list is Palkia. Palkia is a water and also dragon type Pokemon. This means that it is vulnerable to dragon and also fairy type Pokemons, and it's resistant to fire, water, and also steel type Pokemons. This Pokemon has a max CP of 4512, a attack of 280, a defense of 215, and finally stamina of 189. Okay, as you can see here, the highest stat it has is the attack. The defenses are just regular and the attack is lagging a little bit, but it's not very important in this case because it doesn't matter that it's gonna last a little bit less than the other Pokemons, but it's still the other side gonna be dealing a lot of damage with that 280 attack it has. Pokemon get a boost with the rain weather and also the windy weather. And let's see the attacks. It has Dragon Breath and also Dragon Tail. And as charge moves, it has Aqua Tail, Fire Blast, Hydro Pump, and finally Draco Meteor. Okay, the best set in general for this Pokemon would be Dragon Tail and Dragon Meteor. But if we're gonna use it as a water type Pokemon, we must use it with Dragon Tail and also Hydro Pump. The way to get this Pokemon is only by raids, and we had some last week, I think it was, but that's so far the only last opportunity we had to get this Pokemon. We have to wait another time to get more raids of Palkia. So yeah, let's go to the next Pokemon. Okay, guys, on the top 8 we have Shadow for Alligator. This Pokemon is a water type Pokemon. It means it's vulnerable to electric and also grass type Pokemons. It is resistant to fire, ice, steel, and also water type Pokemons. This Pokemon has a max CP of 3230, a attack of 205, a defense of 188, and finally a stamina of 198. So in general, it's a pretty solid Pokemon. It has a regular attack, the defenses are good, the stamina is really good too. So yeah, that's great. We will be able to get this weather boost in this Pokemon by playing in the rainy weather. Let's check the fast attacks. So it has Bite, Water Gun. This one is a legacy move. Then we have a Waterfall and then Ice Fang. As charge moves, we have a Ice Beam, Hydro Pump, Crunch, Hydro Cannon. This one is once again a legacy move. And finally, Frustration. I mean, the best moveset for this Pokemon would be Water Gun and also Hydro Cannon. But if you guys are not able to get both of these legacy moves, then you can use it with Waterfall and Hydro Cannon. And then if you don't have Hydro Cannon, you will have to use it with Waterfall and Hydro Pump. But this will be only viable to play in raids because Hydro Pump requires a lot of energy to be charged and it will be a waste of time to be honest. Anyway, so the get to way this Pokemon would be by evolving Totodile into its second evolution that is called Croconaut by using 25 candies and finally evolving Croconaut into Feraligatr by using 800 candies. So that's it. Now let's go to the next Pokemon. Okay guys, so in the top 7 we have Origin Form Palkia. This Pokemon is a water and also dragon type Pokemon. That means it's vulnerable to dragon and fairy type Pokemons. It is resistant to fire, water, and also steel type Pokemons. Okay, let's see the stats. It has a max CP of 4683, a attack of 286, a defense of 223, and finally stamina of 189. Okay, so this one has a little bit more attack of than the other Palkia. That's better in general, but it has, I think, a little bit less defense, and the stamina remains the same. Okay, it's pretty much of the same, guys. It's gonna be dealing a lot of damage, and it will be very. I mean, I won't say bulky, but it's gonna be doing enough, As it's a legendary, the legendary Pokemon they all have good stats. So what else can we say? Okay, so to get the weather balls, we will get the rainy weather or also the windy weather. And let's take a look at the attacks. Okay, this Pokemon has a Dragon Breath and Dragon Tail as fast attacks. Then as charge moves, it has Aqua Tail, Fire Blast, Hydro Pump, Draco Meteor, and finally Spatial Rent. This one is a legacy move that we were able to get last week at the Pokemon Go Tour Casino. I don't see I don't see us getting this legacy move somewhere close, to be honest, and we're not even able to get it by using Elite TM moves. So, guys, that's it. The best moveset for this Pokemon will be Dragon Tail and Spatial Rent, but this is a Dragon type Pokemon. If you want to use it as a Water type Pokemon, we have to use Dragon Tail, and also I would. It depends, to be honest. If we're using it for PvP, I would use Aqua, but then if we're using it for raids, I would totally use it with Hydro Pump, guys. So that's it. And the best way to get this Pokemon is only by doing raids, guys. But I don't see this happening from a long time now, guys. So we have to wait. Okay, let's go to the next Pokemon. Okay, guys, so in the top 6, we have a Pokemon from the first generation. Yes, I'm talking about Shadow Kingler. This Pokemon is a water type Pokemon. It means it's once again vulnerable to electric type Pokemons, grass type Pokemons, and it is resistant to fire, ice, steel, and finally water type Pokemons. This Pokemon has a max CP of 3198, also an attack of 240, a defense of 181, and finally stamina of 147. Okay, so surprisingly, this Pokemon has a good attack. That's I won't say it's weird, but I didn't notice that till now, and that's pretty good, guys. It has a regular defense, and the stamina is lacking a lot. So I won't say this one is a glass cannon. I mean, as we're using it shadow type Kingler, then that would mean it has less defense, and therefore the other Pokemons would be dealing more damage to this Pokemon. So yes, I would totally call it a glass cannon, guys. But anyways, let's see the attacks. So as fast attacks, it has Mud Shot. This one is a legacy move. Then we have Metal Claw and finally Bubble. And as charge moves, it has a Vice Grip, Egg Scissor, Water Pulse, Crab Hammer, Razor Lit, I mean Razor Shell, and finally Frustration. The best moveset for this Pokemon would be Bubble and Crab Hammer. And the get to away this Pokemon would be by evolving Krabby into Kingler by using 50 candies. So let's go to the next Pokemon. Okay guys, so we're finally in the top 5 best water type Pokemons in Pokemon Go. At this place we have Kyogre. Kyogre is a water type Pokemon. It means it's vulnerable to electric type Pokemons, grass type Pokemons, and then it is resistant to fire type Pokemons, ice type Pokemons, steel type Pokemons, and then water type Pokemons. Let's take a look at the stats. So it has a max CP of 4,652, a attack of 270, a defense of 228, and finally stamina of 205. So okay, so in general this Pokemon is pretty good. It's a legendary, so of course I was expecting the stats to be this good. The attack is the one that's the highest one, and that's really good. The defense is regular, I think, and the stamina is also regular. It's not really that great, but it's good enough for this Pokemon to be doing great in either in PvP and also raids. The we will get the weather boost by having the rainy weather, and now let's check out the attacks. So as fast attacks, it has Waterfall, and as charge moves, it has Blizzard, Thunder, Hydro Pump, Surf, and finally Origin Pulse. This one is a legacy move, guys. Okay, let's see. The best moveset for this Pokemon will be Waterfall, and then Origin Pulse. But if you guys don't have Origin Pulse, I would recommend you guys to use. I would say Surf. I mean, it depends. If you guys are going to use it for PvP, I would totally use it with Surf because this one charges quicker than Hydro Pump. But if you guys are gonna use it for raids, then I would totally use it with Hydro Pump, okay? The way to get this Pokemon would be by playing raids, guys, as you know. But we haven't had Kyogre raids for a long time now, so we have to wait a little. So that's it. Let's go to the next Pokemon. Okay, guys, in the top 4 we have Mega Gyarados. Mega Gyarados is a water type and dark Pokemon. It means it's vulnerable to bug, electric, fairy type Pokemons, fighting type Pokemons, and finally grass type Pokemons. It is resistant to Psychic type Pokemons, Dark type Pokemons, Fire type Pokemons, Ghost type Pokemons, Ice type Pokemons, Steel type Pokemons, and finally Water type Pokemons, guys. That was a lot. I was getting tired. Okay, so this Pokemon has a max CP of 5,332, a attack of 292, a defense of 247, and finally stamina of 216. Okay, so wow, I'm really impressed by the stats of this Pokemon because the attack is around 300 already. I mean, almost around 300. The defenses are really good, and the stamina, I would say, is regular, guys. It's good enough for this Pokemon to be doing a great job either in PvP and also raids. So that's really good. So the we would get the weather boost on this Pokemon by having the rain weather and also the fog weather. Then let's check out the fast attacks. So it has Bite, Dragon Breath, then Dragon Tail. This one is a legacy move. And finally we will have Waterfall. Then let's see the charge moves. It has Aqua Tail. This one is a legacy move. Then we have Twister, Dragon Pulse, Hydro Pump. I mean, Dragon Pulse is another legacy move. Yeah, then we have a Hydro Pump, Outrage, and finally Crunch. The best moveset for this Pokemon would be Bite and Hydro Pump, guys. That's if we're gonna use it for PvP. But if you're gonna use it specifically in raids for defeating a fire type Pokemon, I would totally go with Waterfall and also Hydro Pump. It wouldn't be a problem at all. So yeah. The way to get this Pokemon would be evolving Magikarp into Gyarados by using 400 candies and then Mega Evolving Gyarados into Mega Gyarados by using Mega Energy. So that's it. Let's go to the next Pokemon. Okay, guys, so in the top three we have Mega Blastoise. Mega Blastoise is a water type Pokemon. It is vulnerable to electric and also grass type Pokemon. It is resistant to fire, ice, steel, and finally water type Pokemon. Let's take a look at the stats. So it has a max CP of 4455. Then it has an attack of 264, a defense of 237, and finally stamina of 188. Okay, that last one is weird because I was expecting it to have a higher stamina because we always, I mean, at least I always associate Blastoise with having a great defense, being very bulky, and having a good stamina as well. But it doesn't look like it does, so that's surprising. But anyways, we will get the both weather by being in the rainy weather. Let's take a look at the attacks. So it has a bite and also a water gun. And then as charge moves, it has flash cannon, ice beam, hydro pump, hydro cannon. This one is a legacy move. And finally, skull bash. The best moveset for this Pokemon as a water type Pokemon would be water gun and hydro cannon. But if you guys don't have hydro cannon, then use it with hydro pump, okay? The way to get this Pokemon would be evolving Squirtle into Wartortle by using 25 candies, and then evolving Wartortle into Blastoise by using 100 candies, and then evolving Blastoise into Mega Blastoise by using Mega Energy, okay, guys? So let's go to the next Pokemon. Okay, guys, so here we are in the top two of the best water type Pokemons. Here we have Mega Swampert. Swampert is a water and also ground type Pokemon. It means it only has one weakness. It would be grass, and it's a double weakness. So guys, you better be careful with this type. Okay, so it is resistant to electric, fire, poison, rock, and finally steel type Pokemons. Let's take a look at the stats. So it has a max CP of 4975, a attack of 283, then a defense of 218, sorry, and finally stamina of 225. Okay, so in general it's pretty good. I mean, it's a mega evolution. What else could I expect? The attack is very high. The defenses are regular and also the stamina are regular, but it doesn't really matter. This Pokemon is gonna be resisting a lot of damage, and that's what we want. Uh, to get the weather both, we would have to be in the rainy weather and also the sunny weather. Let's take a look at the fast attacks. So it has Mudshot and then Water Gun as a charge moves. It has Earthquake, Sludge Wave, Surf, Hydro Cannon. This one is a legacy move. And then finally we have Muddy Water. The best movesets for this Pokemon would be Water Gun and also Hydro Cannon, guys. And the way to get this Pokemon would be by evolving Mudkip into Marshtomp by using 25 candies, then evolving Marshtomp into Swampert by using 800 candies, and then finally Mega evolving Swampert into Mega Swampert by using Mega Energy. So let's go to the last Pokemon in the list. Okay, guys, so here we are in the top one, and yes, we have Primal Kyogre. Of course, this Pokemon was going to be here, guys. Like, what did you expect? Please. Primal Kyogre is the best water type Pokemon that we have in Pokemon Go so far. And to be honest, I think it's the best one in general in the entire Pokemon game, guys. So let's take a look at the stats and the weaknesses and everything. So it is a water type Pokemon. It means it's vulnerable to electric and also grass type Pokemons. It is resistant to fire, ice, steel, and water. Let's take a look at the stats. So it has a max CP of 6672, a attack of 353, a defense of 268, and finally stamina of 218. Okay, guys, so I have to say this Pokemon is literally a god, guys. It's really strong. I think it has one of the highest max CPs in the entire game. The attack is incredible. Like, guys, you can look. I can easily see Primal Kyogre defeating Mewtwo easily. The defenses are pretty good, and the stamina is regular, guys. I won't say it's bad, but yeah. In general, this Pokemon is really incredible, guys. It's gonna be dealing a lot of damage. It will resist a lot of attacks from the enemy. And what else can I say? It's great. We can get the weather boost on this Pokemon by playing in the rainy weather. The fast attacks are once again Waterfall. Then as charge moves we have Blizzard, Thunder, Hydro Pump, Surf, and finally Origin Pulse. Of course, the best moveset for this Pokemon would be Waterfall and also Origin Pulse. I think getting the Primal Kyogre, we only get it by having Origin Pulse. So I think everyone that has Primal Kyogre also has Origin Pulse, guys. So yeah. Um. Now let's see. We get this Pokemon by, of course, playing in raids. And if you guys don't have this Pokemon, then we have to wait for the next time that Niantic give us raids of this Pokemon. So yeah, we have to wait a little. But that's it, guys. That was the top one best water type Pokemon in the entire Pokemon Go game. Of course, I was expecting this. Like, Kyogre is the best water type. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Please let me know in the comments what you think of these top 10 best water type Pokemons. Also, please like the video, subscribe, and share with your friends. Thank you so much for watching the video once again, and see you next time. Bye!